morning, Nigerians. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Nigerians. It is so good to be able to be with you today on this special occasion when we raise at another level our call for the immediate and unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Okwu from detention at the DSS Center. To further this cause, and as part of a project that I started up on my 67th anniversary, birthday anniversary, I set up with change.org a petition inviting everybody on earth who knows what is going on and the purpose of the cause of Biafra and the work that Mazi Nnamdi Okwu had done and everything he has contributed to try to make sure that the rights of the indigenous people of Biafra is preserved in Nigeria and subsequently independence granted to them. His work has been a work of peace. He has only called for referendum. He has not made any war on Nigeria. But the Nigerian government had always have acted like criminals in many diverse ways. And in the course of bringing Nnamdi Okwu to Nigeria from Kenya recently, last year, that was a criminal act. Nnamdi Okwu was renditioned into Nigeria. That had been proven by even Nigerian courts to be a criminal act. But the government of Nigeria did it. They put him in detention without releasing him, giving him his freedom. And he had lived under inhuman conditions since that time. 2 Nigerian courts, actually 3 Nigerian courts, have ruled that Nnamdi Okwu had no questions to answer, had not committed any offense that should lead to the detention that he's suffering. And both courts discharged and acquitted him. All of these 2 courts, the High Court, the Appeal Court, all of them were held in public. Another High Court in Abia State even asked the Nigerian government to pay him damages for unlawful detention. But unfortunately, at the end of all of this effort by the judiciary that is used to establish an organized and civil society, after they have made all their judgments, the Nigerian government has refused to obey its own courts that clearly says this man is discharged and acquitted. Instead, they went behind at the back to go and obtain an order. And that order, people are only hearing of it recently, that says stay of execution of the pronouncements of those 2 courts of competent authority in Nigeria, all sitting in Abuja in the federal capital. They did not find Nnamdi Okwu guilty. Instead, they found the government of Nigeria guilty of flouting international law, trampling upon human rights, and thereby committing criminal acts. Now, this court has said that Nnamdi Okwu is discharged and acquitted, but then the DSS took him back to their facility and have kept him under their detention since that time. This young man has suffered health issues, and the government had paid no attention. It had been over a year or so that he had been in that place, and right now his health had gone bad. It is only recently that they have began to allow independent examination of his health complaints. But all of these are not at issue. The thing that is at issue is that if we want to run a country, that country needs to be based on the rule of law. And rule of law says Nnamdi Kanu is discharged and acquitted, he should be let go. All other judgment that is gotten through the backyard that was never heard in public in Nigeria, that Nnamdi Kanu himself did not attend with his lawyers, that makes a pronouncement that says stay execution of all the judgment that have already been given, is on itself illegal. So we have prepared this petition and we invite all to come and sign it so that Nnamdi Kanu should be let go. I am going to drop a link to this petition on the chat bar of this broadcast, which will go straight to both LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Where you find this link, please, please, please sign the petition so that we can compel the government of Nigeria to release Nnamdi Kanu from their detention. Many criminals of other tribes have been running roughshod all over this country. Right now, if you are in the security circles and receive alerts from your group, you will know that every single day, more than 10 kidnappings happen in the north, all over the north, every single day. And there are well-known Fulani terrorist kingpins, well-known that Nigerians, people like Sheikh Gumi knows where they live, he knows where they stay, he has been having meetings with them, and the government will not say that they don't know where these people are. None of these people have been arrested. All that Nnamdi Kanu has asked is for a referendum for people from the former Eastern region to decide whether they want to be in Nigeria or to be in Biafra. I do not see what is wrong with self-expression. Self-expression, and the issue of Biafra is not new to Nigeria. A war was fought on this for 30 months, 1969 to 1967 to 1970. That war was fought. People were killed. The intention was to make the statement that these people say we want to leave, and the Nigerian government say you can't leave. After all those murderous efforts and exercise that led to the death of over 5 million Igbos, Biafrans, not just Igbos alone, because everybody in the Eastern region were targets at that time. That war was a statement. As Wole Soyinka said, Biafra is an idea of which its time has come. In life, once an idea has been set up and each time has come, nobody is supposed to be able to stop it. All those who try to stop it are those who are looking for trouble, who are looking for excuses not to continue with development. All of us are witnesses to the fact that the country, Nigeria, will continue to dwindle if it is left in the current state. The truth we are not telling ourselves. And the worrying part is that the popular side of the populace, the Nigerian citizens, the people who call themselves citizens of Nigeria, do not know that it is only a clique that is benefiting from Nigeria and that is keeping them where they are. A small clique. Some time ago, a friend of mine, we were analyzing Nigeria, and he told me, hey, do you know that it is not up to 5,000 people that are ruining our lives, the life of 200 and maybe, I'm sure it should be, because it's like about 3-4 years ago that it said we are 211 million people. I'm sure we are close to 220 or more as we speak. Now, these few people using tribes, using tribalism and all, is chaining Nigeria down because of the oil that flows out of the southeast, south, and southwest. This is not equitable. There's no justice in this. And then the Nigeria itself was a conglomeration of peoples. When Nigeria was formed in 1914, it was made to last for 100 years. And in 2014, that 100 years was completed. Nigerians, people who found themselves in Nigeria, were supposed to have the liberty to decide whether they want to stay in Nigeria. And the people are saying they don't want to stay in Nigeria. Now, these people don't want to pull out of Nigeria by war. What Nnamdi Kanu has asked for is a referendum. Let's hold a referendum. And I don't even know why is it that the Nigerian government don't want to do that? Because that is a peaceful way to deal with this matter. And there's no assurance that the Nnamdi Kanu group will win in the referendum, and that could at least give the land peace and help development if the people who are ruining the country now in the name of running it meant well for the country. They will listen and hold a referendum. Because even in Igbo land, there are many people in Igbo land itself who don't want the Biafra. But then, why don't we take the course that leads to peace? Nobody is taking it. Now, this young man is detained and kept away from living his life, and his offense is that he spoke up. He said the truth. There are a number of things I want to remind everyone involved, Igbo people especially, and then the rest of the components of Nigeria. Has every word Nnamdi Kanu spoke about this country, has it not come to pass just within the 8 years that Buhari was president? And has it not continued to worsen in these few months that Tinubu is president? So when is it that truth has become a bad thing? I thought the law said, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Nigerians, do you love to be in bondage instead of being in freedom, following the truth, which is clear? And one evident truth that I know personally myself, I know you guys know it, and some people are only massaging it because they believe and trust that they can continue to steal the country blind under the current inappropriate organization of the country. That truth is that Nigeria cannot become anything. Nigeria, let me repeat, Nigeria as it is currently composed cannot become anything. Probably if Nigeria peacefully disintegrates, some other part of Nigeria might become something. And at that point, development can start. I think it was Reverend Kuka who said, if the government of Nigeria is not ready to lead the development effort for the country, they should allow those who love development to go their way so they can develop. Nigeria is becoming a hiss. It will soon, become a hiss. Nigeria is going. But right now it's a laughing stock all over Africa. Recently, a Cameroonian guy made a video that says now that Nigerians have decided to put the kind of president they have in Cameroon, that Cameroon will now become the overlord over Nigeria instead of Nigeria being overlord over them. And he gave an analysis. In those days, 20,000 naira was equal to 60,000 Cameroonian franc. But today, 20,000 naira is about 7,000 Cameroonian franc. I mean, what other indicators do you need? What other index are you looking for to enable you know that the country is gone and it is going this way because of the structure? As we speak, if we take by European standards, this country is supposed to be like 15 countries right now. In Europe, each tribe is a country. And personally, I am even advocating that if the other segments of the former Biafra do not want to be part of Biafra, the Igbos can as well go and be Biafra. These stories about being landlocked are farce. Many landlocked countries are surviving. A country like an Igbo that has people like Igbo people in it will survive even on a rock. If all the land are rock, Igbo people will survive. So that is from the Nigerian angle. Now, speaking about the Igbos who ought to be the ones in charge of things, raising their voices. Igbo politicians, what you're doing is not going to help you. It will not help your posterity. You are going to lose. It will be a loss. You need to wake up now and forget this idea of trying to protect the appointment that you are giving or the contract that you are giving. You know, they talk about, some people, they say something about Atoeze saying, oh, the first contract he ever executed was given to him by a Fulani, so he will live and die with Fulani. That is okay with us. You can pack and move to Fulani land. If Igbo land is not good enough for you, if Biafra land is not what you want, the Nigeria will still be there for the Fulani, because Nigeria is Fulani empire. It's owned by Fulani. If you continue to stay in Nigeria, you are just a property or one of the fiends that the Fulani uses for their project. So people like Atoeze can, you know, jolly well go to Fulani and become Fulani people. And nobody stops them, because people leave their own country where they are born and go to another country and nationalize or naturalize. They can perfectly do that. So all those who are striding positions of authority in Igbo land, just note, I cannot call you leaders because you are not. Whether it is the Ezes, the Igwes, the governors, the National Assembly members, State Assembly members, all of you have shown yourselves as nothing but paupers. Regardless of all the money you have stolen, you are still poor. Can't you think for yourselves? How can you remain under the condition you are in spite of all the money that you have stolen? Christian Etienne Ibokwe said, Ndi Igbo tetanu n'ụra, wake the Igbos, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. If you are not seeing what is going on, if you think that that small filthy locker you collect is what is going to protect you, I assure you, it's a lie. It cannot protect you. All those who were there before you, who hobnobbed with Fulani and stole all the money that belonged to the Igbos and put it in their pocket, where are they? The kind of government that you people are supporting in this land is a government that breeds insecurity. Let us be careful with the kind of support we give to these governments that are striding over Nigeria. They breed insecurity. Igbo land is not safe. Yoruba land is not safe. Hausa land is not safe. Fulani place is not safe. Itiv land is not safe. No part of Nigeria is safe, purely because of the government that have been running things in it. These governments are rogue governments. They don't know what they're doing. They can't do anything to help anybody. They can't help themselves. They are all enamored in their collection of the money they feel they can steal, which money will become a cankerworm upon them, because the land itself is now unsafe for everybody. The economy has gone down. The money has become paper. Very soon it will look like when the central bank governor of Uganda said that Ugandan money is shit money. Ugandan money is shit money because it has no value again. Or get to the one of Zimbabwe before they started restructuring, where it would take several thousand Zimbabwean dollars to get $1 of US dollar. Whatever it is, all of these are evidence that what you are doing is wrong. We can heal Nigeria. For those who want Nigeria, we can have a better Nigeria for their use. But first, Nigeria needs to be structured, restructured, recreated, different countries emerge. If any of those countries decide that they want to become confederate states under the name Nigeria, then they can do that of their own free will and choice. But the people who want to leave Nigeria need to be allowed to leave, because there's nothing in Nigeria for them. The so-called Igbo politicians who are opposing referendum, opposing Nnamdi Kanu and all, Why don't you test your power and popularity in a referendum? Why are you afraid that Nnamdi Kanu will win? When you know in your mind, in your saying, what he's doing is wrong. If what he's doing is wrong, how is it that he's going to win? What indicators, what things in life gives him that power and popularity to win? And if there's anything like that, then you created it by bad governance, by rogue administration of the land, by the stealing of all the resources provided for development. Our people say that nobody lives where they are doing celebration and ceremonies and enjoying and eating and go to where they are doing juju. The reason being that in the celebrations you eat and you drink and you enjoy yourself and felicitate with friends. But when it is juju, only a few people will be involved. That is one. Two, the highest thing they will pour on the ground or use is hot kai hot drink that doesn't give any nutritional value. So Nigeria is like where they are doing juju. Why you people are staying in that place for what? Is it because of the small money that the Fulani gives you from your money? The interesting thing is that the money they are using to bribe you is your own money. We have a petition, and that petition is located at change.org. We want everyone to go there and sign that petition that will lead to the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let's sign that petition. That is the call that I have for all of us today. Let us sign that petition that will lead to the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Sign that petition today. In future of these candid talks we'll be bringing every now and then, we are going to talk about governance in Igbo land. We will expose all that these governors are doing in crime, how they are making sure that all the resources provided for development are not getting to anywhere but into their pockets, and the madness involved in that, because these are so much money that you do not have anything to do with, except to either put in a bank abroad to enhance the economy of foreign lands, or hide inside your houses, as many have been found out, and then those currencies will decay and then be thrown away. What does it profit a man to end the whole world and lose his soul? You are losing your soul every day that you continue to rule Nigeria, but I'm not interested in Nigeria. You continue to rule Igbo land the way you are ruling it. You are a governor. The only thing you do is steal money and share a little pieces to other people to keep quiet. Bribe all the law enforcement agencies so they won't get at you. Make sure there are no laws to pin you down to it. That is foolishness. You will pay for it in due course, and the law of nature doesn't have the mercies that I may have if it was in my hand to deal with you. But it's the law of nature that will deal with you. And the promise I have for all those stealing Igbo land blind, making sure there are no development in Igbo land, whether you're Igbo governors, Igbo senators, Igbo members of the House, whether federal or state, or even the Fulani that comes from across the desert to control everything in Igbo land by appointing governors and senators for us. What I have on you is the Igbo land will strike all of you with epilepsy. It will strike all of you with paralysis. You will have stroke. You will eat that money. Diabetes will be your brother. Will go to death, take you to grave, and you will have water running from your mouth while you are alive. Saliva will be pouring out from your mouth while you are alive for all the evil that you have placed on Igbo land. But you can make all of that right with one single stroke. Everybody join hands. See that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released from DSS detention. That's number one. Second, you work for referendum. Let people decide whether they want to stay in Nigeria or not. My friends, when we talk, they will say, who Nigeria help? If those who want to, who has Nigeria helped? Look at the condition of the country. We will soon do a program on electricity, because what the information we are getting is that there's no power in the whole land. There's no power in the land anymore. Everywhere is now without power. This is what we have for today. We are expecting that in due course we will invite you to discuss this matter more. But go to change.org and sign that petition. Sign that petition. Sign that petition to release Mazi Nnamdi Okwu Kanu today. Sign that petition.